Okay, Cade Cunningham finally shot well from three. He was 3 for 7. That was started by Kelly Olynyk's swing offense, eventually to Cade in the corner. And he also had some drives as well. On this one, he freezes Harden for just a second before he goes into the drive off the jab step. It's a similar thing here. Stop and go, in and out dribble, freezes KD for a moment. So he is ramping things up, but we can't ignore all of the missed shots. He did still shoot pretty rough from the field overall in this one. And most of them were in the paint, but not in the restricted area, and I think a lot of it was because of this, the Nets playing drop in the pick and roll on him. Here's another example. LaMarcus Aldridge is going to drop off of the Isaiah Stewart screen, and that's the shot they're daring him to make, and while the ones he did make looked good, overall, the Nets were right to play him like that in this game. Should be said, the lob was there to Isaiah Stewart. We're going to trust Cade to make that play most of the time. Now, it's a similar thing. Blake is dropping. It eventually becomes a switch. I think it's intriguing that Cade then, after getting the switch, brought it back out. Now, he takes a three, which you don't love, but the idea of him pulling the big out and then forcing the switch where he can then go to ISOs and stuff, to me, is a good sign. I think another question will be, as you see another one where Cade takes the floater, is in this situation, right here, is it always going to be the floater, or will he go to something else? Whether that's trying to draw a foul on the big guy, or what if he shades to the left here rather than going in a straight line? It could lead to an open shot for somebody else. Or maybe he'll just become amazing at floaters, I don't know. This was the one time he looked really comfortable against the drop going to the floater. He gets Patty Mills on his back, putting the defender in jail, that whole thing. I would also like to show Bruce Brown some love because Cade attempts to go at him and then he just runs into a brick wall because moving Bruce Brown is basically impossible. That was a turnover on Cade. Now let's look at Cade's 2 assists from this one. Here you get a classic bounce pass in transition. Love it. And here you get a heads up one where he just gets the rebound and it's down court to Kelly Olynyk. I said this the last time I talked about Cade. I'll just say it again. The guy's barely played basketball. I think Dwayne Casey said that he's had like one practice or something, and now he's just playing NBA games, and he's been a little better each game, so I'm not concerned at all. I think Cade's going to be great, and that's that. Partially because he's already had 2 big shots. This is a 3 in the fourth quarter over Patty Mills, and he had this one where he bailed him out of a possession that was going nowhere. 2 big threes in the fourth quarter for a guy who already had a reputation for making clutch shots in college. Now we move on to the Rookie of the Year battle between the Cavs and the Raptors. Very early on, you're going to get to see Evan Mobley contesting Scotty Barnes at the rim, because that's what you really want to see, right? Mobley is... What more can I say? Scotty Barnes, which, by the way, can I just say, Scotty Barnes setting screens and all that, love it, totally. But the way that Mobley is just right there on Van Vliet and then just shifts his hips to be right there with Scotty Barnes, he makes it look easy. Big guys get killed on this type of stuff all the time, but Evan Mobley doesn't. Also, shout out to Jared Allen, who definitely played a part in that whole thing. Now, before Raptors fans come at me with pitchforks, here's a jumper from Barnes over Evan Mobley. I think it has been interesting so far that Scotty has not really taken threes too much, but he's been pretty comfortable from mid-range. To me, it suggests that the range for him will be there. This is basically one step within the three-point line. Here's another one where Scotty tries to score on Mobley. Can we consider this one a tie? Because the initial thing doesn't go, but then you get one of Scotty Barnes' 6 offensive rebounds on the game. He's currently averaging 3 offensive boards. And now to continue this made-up rivalry or something, now you have Scotty Barnes defending Mobley. The hook shot over his right shoulder, or left shoulder, my bad. It's a similar thing here, although this time it's over Chris Boucher. Now there were apparently other players in this game, one of them being OG Anunoby. Gets that screen from Kem Birch, stop and go, gets by Jared Allen. Now let's talk about Wolves Clippers. I'm not even going to do any footage for this one. Towns has 11 shots, Edwards has 22, Malik Beasley has 18. This should not be the way that it is. Now we get James Harden establishing himself as the Shaqtin' a Fool guy early this season. To me, this is like the epitome of like an 11-year dude who's just like, I have to go through an entire regular season again, versus Sadiq Bey, who was on his rookie contract, of course. And Gary Payton the second poster. This guy is becoming like a legend in the NBA because he's barely out there, but when he is, it's just pandemonium. He's like Boban, but as a guard. Dame ends the night with 4 points. He had 4 points? Good lord, I didn't know it was that bad. Dude, I tried to reverse jinx it with my video. I might have made it worse. Still won the game though, so that's fun.